Hello everyone and welcome back to another Starbound TNT. My name's Decorsa and I'm expanding on my airlock in this episode. So I decided I want to make a little bit more of a dramatic airlock. So with this one, water's gonna flood in, gonna fill up, and you can't open the interior door and drain the airlock until it's full. So to demonstrate, okay, it's full, and now I can drain. Also has a couple of features that prevent you from being locked out. Come on. I can get around. So, if you come in and it's already flooded, you can hit the button on the inside to drain it, and let me rush on the outside. Come on. Oh, so slow underwater. And if you're on the outside, when it's not flooded, you can flood it. Now you don't need like all of like the fancy doors or anything like that. Just need doors and a hatch. But let me demonstrate how to build it. Alright, and just to really hammer home that you can build this with pretty much any materials that you want, all you need in terms of circuitry and other stuff, you need 2 drains, 2 liquid sensors, an AND gate, persistent switch, a NOT gate or 2 NOT gates, 1 XOR, 4 buttons, 2 any type of door, 1 hatch that's optional, and an assortment of lights that determine, what state that the airlock's in. You have red ones for when it's full, white ones or whatever color that you want that you can get a hold of for whenever it's air inside of the airlock. And then some alarms for some noisemakers. Anyway, so first off, what we want to do is this is where I want to be dry. Out here's wet. This is the airlock. So I put down my doors and the hatch, and I'm going to drain everything, which is why I have extra drains. Throw them down. And while I'm at it, so you want 1 drain in front of each door. And those are the 2 drains that you absolutely need for the build. Now you want to take 1 liquid sensor, put it roughly in the middle of your airlock, and then you want 1 in the top corner away from your exterior door, kind of over your interior door, but as long as it's up in that corner, it's okay. So now the first thing that's critical to all airlocks is you want this door to be open while there's no liquid in the room, and you want it to be closed if there's any liquid in the room. The best way to achieve that is with the liquid sensor and a NOT gate. So we're going to go ahead, wiring mode, there we go. So the liquid sensor puts out a signal when there's liquid, and if there's a signal, the door's open. We don't want that, that's why we have the NOT gate. So hook up the NOT gate to the door's input. So now, whenever there's water in the room, the door closes. And when there's no water in the room, it opens. There we go. And that's the basics of every airlock. Now, so we can get the... Now, what we want is for the airlock to fill up with water. So I'm going to put buttons on the outside and buttons on the inside. So 1 button on either side of the door. And to get this to stay open, so it completely fills up, we're going to use a persistent switch. Persistent switches, when they receive an input in the top, they stay on until they receive an input to the bottom. So, wiring mode, we're going to wire the buttons up to this top switch, or to the top input, and then wire it up to both the hatch and the door. Now if we were to push this, they're going to stay open, and we currently have no way to close it. But, okay, so now what we want to do is, so the drains are currently still on. We don't want them on. So we're going to take another knot and wire the persistent switch into it to turn the drains off. So that while the persistent switch is on, it's going to be sending a signal to the NOT gate, which inverts the signal and turns the drains off. Now, in order to reset this and get the drain started, we want an AND gate that's taking the signal from that liquid sensor and these buttons. So whenever you push the button, whether you're inside or outside, right, and I need to wire it up. The AND gate to the bottom of the persistent switch, so that when I hit the button, it shuts the hatch up top and the door, and it allows the water to drain. Now for the... okay, and the door opens. Now for the sort of more dramatic flare, we're going to put one of these lights in the middle, and these red lights on the side, as well as a couple of alarms. These are purely decorative and noisy. So let me take care of the noisy ones first. So what I like to do is I have an XOR gate, and I want to hook the two liquid sensors up to it. So let me do that and kind of explain why. So the XOR gate takes one input or the other, but not both. So if one input's on, it sends a signal out. If the other input's on, it sends a signal input or out. If they're both on, it's off. If they're both off, it's off. So right now they're both off, so it's sending the off signal. So how that's working is when there's water in the room, it's going to turn these alarms off, and when it's full, it's going to trigger this one to turn on, and it'll turn those alarms off. Let me demonstrate. Oop, wrong button. Let me demonstrate. Not going to hear it too much with when it's filling because it's too quick, but while it's draining, I said while it's draining, there we go. They cut on, and they make their noise, and then they turn off. There we go. Now I also want to hook up this liquid sensor to these red lights, so while there's water in the room, these red lights are on, and I'm going to get this NOT gate that it's attached to and attach it to this blue light here in the middle, so that while there's no liquid in this room, the blue light's on. So let me turn off the wires. And there we go. Red lights are on. And once it all drains, there we go, the blue light turns on. Now the wiring, since it's down here, it's easy enough to hide. So let me just pop that light off. And cover there with sand. There you go. Nice, simple little airlock with all the wires hidden. Could probably have put that a little bit deeper, but that's okay. Alright, so I'm back here at this airlock to talk about a couple of aesthetic changes, I guess you could call them. So the difference between that one and this one. I do have the water running into this little canal, duct, whatever you want to call it, and drains out from there. So it gets the water off of the liquid sensor quicker while it's still draining. So let me give you an example of that. So these, on the other side of the liquid sensor, lets it drain a little bit faster, so this door will open a little bit sooner. That's mainly the difference between this one and the other one. But anyways, if the video helped you, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. I am posting daily Starbound videos. If you have any critiques, comments, criticisms, any suggestions, hints, pretty much want to say anything to me at all, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have yourselves a very good day.